We are back at Odis Spencer Stadium, another playoff matchup on Georgia-Alabama Sports Live for high school soccer. This time it's the Columbus boys, the defending 3A state champions, taking on Coahulla Creek from Dalton here on Georgia-Alabama Sports Live. And I want to remind all you listeners and people watching the broadcast that the Georgia High School Association is a voluntary nonprofit organization composed of over 450 public and private high schools. The GHSA administers regulations for region and state competition in 19 sports and 2 activities. Founded in 1908, the GHSA strives to promote good sportsmanship, participant safety, and fair play among its member schools. For more information, visit GHSA.net. Follow at Official GHSA on the X, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. The Georgia High School Association would like to thank its corporate sponsors for their valuable support of high school athletics and activities. Alpha Insurance, Georgia Electric Membership Corporation, Gatorade, Wilson, BSN Sports, the Atlanta Hawks, Mizuno, the Atlanta Braves, Subway, Sport Medicine South, the Atlanta Track Club, the NFHS Network, Regions Bank, Max Preps, GoFan, and the Georgia Public Broadcasting. Also, we want to thank the sponsors of the Columbus High Booster Club, Aflac, the Columbus Children's Dentistry, Uptown Chili Thai, Fit Body Boot Camp, Hideaway Lounge, Handelman, Nestale and Goff, Jackar's Rentals, Kia Autosport, Nail Service Day Spa, Nexus Pain Center, Faux Saigon, Posh Spa and Lounge, Pro Nails, Rob Hendricks Attorney, Stars and Strikes, V. Ted Theus Eternity, Tips and Toes, Elite Family Medicine, Vi Spa and Nails, and Wild Wing Cafe. Thank you for supporting Columbus High Athletics. Well, we are moments away from this kickoff. As a recap of what happened last night on Georgia-Alabama Sports Live, as the Columbus Lady Blue Devils fell 2-1 to Morgan County. It was a hard-fought battle on the pitch at Odis Spencer Stadium, and Morgan County out of Madison advances to the semifinals. So looking at the playoff brackets in 2A girls, Pike County, the number 1 overall seed, they ended up defeating Sonoraville 8-1. And we also had Coahulla Creek defeat Drew Charter 3-0. So the semifinal matchup on the left side of the bracket is Pike County and Coahulla Creek. Morgan County defeated Columbus 2-1, and they advance. They will be on the road May the 8th, taking on the number 3 seed Savannah Arts, who defeated Pierce County 1-0. Taking a look at the boys bracket, as we are in for a special treat. We got ourselves a doubleheader. However, we will not be live streaming the game after this game. But we've got Shaw taking on Jackson. That is going to happen after this game. So people here in the stands will get a chance to see Shaw take on Jackson of Atlanta. And down at the bottom left, Columbus, the number 4 seed, taking on Coahulla Creek, the number 5 seed. Over on the right side of the bracket, it's Crisp County and Tattnall County. And then we also have Drew Charter taking on Murray County. Murray County defeated Jordan 2-1. Crisp County ended up defeating Callaway 2-1. It was Pierce County over Tattnall County 2-1. And Drew Charter defeated Appling County 2-0. Well, it's time to get ready for soccer here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. I want to remind everybody that this broadcast is brought to you by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Gordy Eye Care, Kinetic Credit Union, and Buffalo Rock Pepsi. We also want to thank our other sponsors, Terry Johnson Agency, State Farm Carroll Purdue, Master Wall Incorporated, CVCC, and Alex Quinney All-State. Well, we are just moments away here live from Odis Spencer Stadium as it's the Columbus Blue Devils taking on the Coahulla Creek Colts here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Just a little bit about Coahulla Creek. Of course, they are out of Dalton. 11-4 overall record, 7-1 in region play. Some notable players. Their leading goal scorer is Omar Mendaloia with 12 goals, followed by Diego Frary, also has 12 goals. And then Cruz Barcenas has got 9 goals. So they are a senior-led team. It's got a lot of experience. You talk about a team that was right there in the thick of things. From just recapping last season, remember they lost in the championship to Columbus 2-0 in overtime. And that was last year, so both teams were in 3A last year. As we get ready for this soccer match here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. As both teams, well, I see Columbus out there. Columbus is out there warming up. And Coahulla Creek going to try to get some touches in. So Columbus coming in as the defending 3A state champions. They lost a lot of players from last year's team. And I talked to Coach Brad Casper earlier today. And one thing about this team, they are young. They got a lot of talent, but they also have a lot of youth. And they have several members of their team that play on some club teams, including their goalkeeper, Ryan Hollins, who plays for Columbus United FC. And by the way, I wanted to make a correction. This is a rematch of the quarterfinal matchup that took place on April the 30th. Columbus actually defeated Hebron Christian in the state finals on May the 7th. And they actually defeated Oconee County in the semifinals last year. So Columbus last season 17-3-2, 5-0 in area play. And they're trying to advance here. As we are just moments away from kickoff, we're going to step aside as you're watching the GHSA 2A boys soccer quarterfinal matchup between the Colts from Coahulla Creek and the Blue Devils from Columbus. Back after this. And we are back here at Odis Spencer Stadium. We have about a 17-minute delay due to probably road conditions as Coahulla Creek just got in, probably just really bad traffic up in Atlanta as they are warming up. And so we will go ahead and step aside, and we will have this soccer match. Just a reminder, if you're here in attendance, we've got Shaw and Jackson coming up after this, but that start time is probably going to get pushed to about 9 o'clock. So Shaw's going to have a very long night. The winner of this match will take on the winner of that match that will happen right after this one. So Coahulla Creek, led by their head coach, Aurelio Jacobo. And like I said, they have a senior-led team. A lot of their top goal scorers are seniors. Omar Mendiola, Diego Freire, Cruz Barcenas, all are the top goal scorers for the Colts from Coahulla Creek. And you got some of the Columbus players over on this near side, including Isaiah Virgil getting warmed up, along with Grant Watkin. I see Will Childs over there. We're getting ready to try to get some warm-ups in before the start of this soccer match here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Columbus comes in with a 14-5 record. They were 6-1 in the region. And their only loss in the region came on April the 17th when they lost to Sumter County in Americus, 3-1. That was when they already wrapped everything up. They dropped 2 straight going into the playoffs. Took care of Kip Atlanta 11-0 and then defeated Sonoraville 5-2. They are the 4th overall seed. And they've had an impressive record. They actually beat Shaw on penalty kicks all the way back on February the 13th. They have beaten Pacelli 3-2. That was on March the 4th. We have that game for you on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. They defeated Calvary Christian on March 11th, 4-1. They lost to Carrollton 4-0. But this Columbus soccer team is about ready to try to see if they can advance to the semifinals, where they will take on the winner of Shaw and Jackson. And, of course, the soccer championships are at Mercer University in Macon. So we'll step aside once again while they have their warm-ups as you're watching the GHSA 2A Boys Soccer Quarterfinal here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We'll be back after this. All right, welcome back here to Odis Spencer Stadium. We are about 5 minutes away from kickoff between Columbus and Coahulla Creek here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And joining me here for the pregame is the head soccer coach of the Shaw Raiders, Coach Curtis Moore. How you doing, Coach?
Doing really well.
I tell you what, you guys are going to have a late night. Coahulla Creek just got in maybe about 10 minutes ago. They got their warm-ups in. You get ready to take on Jackson, which is a 2A school out of Jackson, Georgia. They're in the same region with Pike County, Callaway. But just talk about the season so far and what's it going to take to try to beat Jackson. And I know that if you're able to advance past Jackson, you'll face the winner of this match.
Exactly. And, we played Columbus High to kick the season off, and that went to penalty kicks, and Columbus got us on the penalty kicks and was a really good game. And I would love the opportunity to get to play them again. And I think it'd be great for Columbus to have both teams being able to play each other this Friday coming up for that semifinal game. But first of all, we're going to take care of business against Jackson. Certainly, we are not looking forward to that game on Friday. We had a rescheduled game from Friday all the way up in Ringgold, who actually lost to Coahulla Creek. Same way we had lost to Columbus in a shootout, penalty shootout in the game. So I feel confident that Columbus is going to do really well against Coahulla Creek, and that they're going to advance on, and look forward to us being able to do the same.
Well, I tell you what, Coach Moore, you are a busy guy over at Shaw. You are the girls' flag football coach, also the soccer coach for the boys. I tell you, we really had the privilege of live streaming that epic battle you had with Jordan that went to penalty kicks. I wish you the best of luck against Jackson, and hopefully we'll see you in the semifinals, maybe even back here. That would be awesome.
That sounds great, and I sure do want to have the opportunity to do that.
All right, thanks, Coach. That's the Shaw boys soccer coach, Curtis Moore, as they are going to be facing Jackson. That's going to be coming up after this match. However, because of the GHSA restrictions and the contract, we will not be able to live stream that game. But we are cheering on for the Shaw Raiders, and hopefully if Shaw can advance and if Columbus could advance, they could be facing each other off on May the 9th back here at Odis Spencer Stadium. And I know that the whole city of Columbus is rooting for that, as the public address announcer is announcing the starting lineups. We'll get ready for kickoff here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We'll be back after this. All right, we're ready to play some soccer here on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. Richard Holdridge on the broadcast. I want to thank Coach Curtis Moore of the Shaw Raiders for being the pregame guest here on Georgia, Alabama Sports Live. We're hoping it's Shaw Columbus in the semifinals. That would just be a dream matchup here in the Fountain City. But Shaw has got to take care of business against Jackson, and Columbus has got to take care of business against Coahulla Creek. Coahulla Creek comes out of Dalton, Georgia. You had that long drive from the northern part of the state. So we've had about a 36-minute delay here in the start time. As both teams huddling. Getting their pregame speeches in. Got a decent crowd like we had yesterday. As we got playoff soccer, back-to-back nights. Columbus girls in the quarterfinals yesterday fell to Morgan County. And now we got the Columbus boys hoping to reach the semifinals, taking on Coahulla Creek. Here's the starting lineup for the Blue Devils. We got Gabe Perez, Christian Buenroso, Will Mason, Isaiah Virgil, Roberto Diaz, Charles Frimpong, Grayson Herzog, Andrew Bowers, who's a freshman, Tristan Lemons, Grant Walken, and Titus Robbins. The Columbus boys soccer coach is led by their head coach, Brad Casper. As we get ready to start this match, Coahulla Creek is going to kick things off, and we'll get underway. As you can see, Diego Frary. And we are underway here at Odis Spencer Stadium. And we're going to have our first throw in. That's going to be Avery Nava for the Colts from Coahulla Creek. And over to that back line. That's in the zone, in the cross. And here comes Columbus. Trying to push it up, and there's a slide tackle. And that's going to be keeper's ball. Out of play once again, and a throw-in coming up for Coahulla Creek. Matthew Espinoza looking to cross. It's in the box, and that's way off, and that was a golden opportunity there for the Colts. Trying to see who took that shot. That's a player to watch out for. That was number 6, Cruz Barcenas, one of the top goal scorers for Coahulla Creek. Winner will take on the winner of Shaw and Jackson, which is going to be coming up after this match. And that goes out of play. There'll be a goal kick coming up for the Blue Devils. That sails right over in the header. Here comes Coahulla Creek. And the keeper just going to boot that one out of here. And we got a whistle. That'll be a free kick coming up for Coahulla Creek. And doing the honors is Omar Mediola. Coahulla Creek's own time of possession here in the early minutes of this match. They've had the one shot on goal. It was not on target, but it was a shot. Coahulla Creek, the number 5 seed. Columbus, the number 4 seed. You talk about the talent level between these two clubs. They are very identical. Just Columbus just happens to be the home team. As these two teams met in the quarterfinals last season. Columbus just got to try to keep the possession. Over to Herzog. And Herzog ended up losing it. Here comes Coahulla Creek pushing it 50-50, and the keeper's ball. That's Gabe Perez, the goalkeeper for the Blue Devils. Nice pass over Buenstrano. Another 50-50 ball. Perez able to get on top of that one. You got Titus Robbins, the sophomore, trying to battle that defender. And Coahulla Creek comes up with the possession. Shot and upper 90, and that's off the mark. That's the second shot today by Coahulla Creek. It will be a goal kick coming up for Columbus. Columbus has just got to find a way for Coahulla Creek not to get in the box, just get like a turnover. Because Coahulla Creek has controlled the possession here in the first half. Early on, nice header. Tracking that one down. Oh, what a pass. Oh, and a slide tackle by Christian Buenstrano. But that's going to be a throw-in coming up for Coahulla Creek. Good header. Back over to Buenstrano. Over to Lemons. Trying to save that one was Fabricio Pacheco. for Coahulla Creek, and now that back line for Columbus. Been pretty solid all year. And one thing about this Columbus team and Coach Casper, they have played tough opponents, higher classifications. They've played GIAA schools to include Pacelli and Calvary. They know what it takes. And they did lose a lot of seniors from last year's championship team. They are the defending 3A champions, down a classification into 2A. Coahulla Creek was also in 3A last year. And that's going to be our first whistle. It's going to be a free kick coming up, and that foul was on Charles Frimpong. Free kick is going to be taken by Mendiola. Johnny. Believe that's right. No, correction. Omar Mediola is going to take this free kick. That's going right at the keeper, Perez. Perez, that's not having any of that. Oh, and look at Coahulla Creek right there, just coming out of nowhere. Pretty decent crowd here at Odis Spencer Stadium. It's Georgia Alabama Sports Live. It's the 2A boys soccer quarterfinals for the GHSA. And if you're soccer fans, you're in for a treat because we got another quarterfinal soccer match for you right after this one between between Shaw and Jackson. Columbus has just got to be patient. Middle of the field there, Roberto Diaz. Diaz has got space. Over to that back line. Nice pass over to Hartsong. And it's stolen by Coahulla Creek. Looking to cross. Nothing there in the middle. Columbus has just got to be patient. Look at him trying to challenge. That was Rivera. And another whistle. That'll be a free kick coming up for Columbus. Look at him turning up the field, and he gets taken down, and that's going to be a yellow card on Grayson Herzog, and that is early in the match. Herzog has got to be careful he does not pick up a second yellow card, because that will be a red card, and Columbus will play a man down. And that happened in the 28th minute. It'll be a free kick coming up for Anderson Rivera, the junior. Actually, Omar Mendiola is going to take this one. They're kind of switching it up. And that is off the mark, and a goal kick coming up for the Blue Devils. Want to remind everybody that this broadcast is brought to you by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Gordy Eye Care, Kinetic Credit Union, and Buffalo Rock. Thrift and I will be in Montgomery tomorrow for the AISA State Championship between Patrician and Lakeside School. Over there on that right side, that is the freshman Bowers. Nice pass. Shot. Save! The save by the keeper. I was trying to get his number. I'm trying to remember that. That was a great save there by the keeper. Throw in coming up. Avery Nava going to take this throw in. That was Columbus's best scoring opportunity so far. Oh, what a move. And a good slide tackle by Nava. Are they going to call that a handball? Well, no, that's going to be a throw-in coming up for the Blue Devils. Yeah, once again, that's going to be a throw-in coming up for Coahulla Creek, or a free kick, rather. Good job by Columbus taking it away. Still not out of the woods yet. That's a 50-50 ball. A little deflection. And is that going to stay in play? Yeah, that's going to go out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in coming up for Coahulla Creek. Strong defensive line for Columbus. And that's just a foot race to the ball. And that will be a corner coming up for Coahulla Creek. Coahulla Creek out of Dalton, Georgia. They are the Colts. The ref actually changed his mind, and Grant Watkin is going to take this throw in for the Blue Devils. Oh, what a move. That was a good play there by Will Mason. We entered the 15th minute of the match. Still scoreless here from Odis Spencer Stadium. Columbus, Coahulla Creek, quarterfinal matchup here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Good move. He's got space, but then Coahulla Creek's right there. You got Columbus with several blue jerseys just trying to get maybe a rebound play. You got to watch out for the offsides, too. There's some little tussling there. That's going to be a whistle. It might be, is that going to be a yellow card? It's not enough to warrant the yellow card. Taking this free kick is going to be Christian Buenstrano. Coahulla Creek is going to build that mini wall. Buenstrano slices it in the box, and it goes above the net. Goal kick coming up for the Colts. Nice header. Let's see if Columbus can get this. Plenty of space. Plenty of space to work with. That was number 15, Charles Frimpong. Frimpong with it. What a pass. It gets tripped up, and they're going to call that a foul on Coahulla Creek. Free kick coming up for Columbus. It was Alex Ramirez, who's actually a sub coming into the game for the Blue Devils. That's in the box. There's a header and out of play. And a goal kick. There we play 2 40-minute halves here in high school soccer. We got another soccer match coming up this Saturday. 6 o'clock, Calvary Christian Boys and Coach Orr's team. First year in the GIAA. The brackets came out, and good steal there by Columbus. And Columbus with some open space. Got a race to it. He's got it. Looking to cross. Tripped up, falls down. What are they going to call? Is that going to be a throw-in? That's going to be a throw-in coming up for Columbus. Tristan Lemons will do the honors. Now Columbus can try to spread it out. They're on this side of the field. Let me draw up a design play to try to get a shot on goal. Also Christian Bussey checking into the game. That's Bussey. Oh, deflection, out of play, and that will be a goal kick. As we're halfway done with the first half. Enter the 20th minute of the match. It's a nice header by Buenstrano. And Columbus is going to have to find a way on that back line. Just trying to protect. Let's see if Columbus tries to press here. In a good play, just swiping it. That was Omar Mendiola. Columbus will have a throw-in right on that near side. It's in the box. Columbus can get some space. They could possibly have a shot opportunity, but this Coahulla Creek defense has not been giving them anything easy. Got to use space here. That's Andrew Bowers. And Bowers is only a freshman. He's had some significant touches in the season so far. A slide tackle and a whistle. Free kick coming up for Coahulla Creek. And Cruz Barcenas is going to take this free kick. Going into the box. Header. Trying to control it. Over to that back line. Columbus defense solid. Oh, what a good deflection there by Bussey. But that will be a throw-in coming up for the Colts, who are in their white unis with their look like light blue lettering and the black shorts. Columbus in their blue uniform with their orange lettering. And out of play, and we're going to have a throw-in coming up as Bussey going to take this throw-in for the Blue Devils. If he could get to it, they have an opportunity for the cross and slide tackle. And out of play, that was Charles Frimpong that was racing to it. Columbus, middle of the field. Got to get to it. It's Bowers. Shot. And that's off the mark. And did the goalie touch that? Because if he touches that, that's a corner kick coming up for Columbus. I don't think he did. I think that will be a goal kick. I mean, if it's not even close to the net, why dive for it? You don't want to end up having a corner kick off a deflection. There really hasn't been any significant shots on goal. The shots on goal have really not been on target. Columbus did have that 50-50 ball, but the goalkeeper was right there. "25th minute of the match. Still scoreless. The winner take on the winner of Jackson and Shaw in the semifinals. Jackson and Shaw will be coming up next after this. Yeah, Coahulla Creek's defense just not giving them anything easy. But Columbus just needs to spread it out, needs to get an opportunity, needs to get speed up the middle of the field. But good job just taking them one-on-one, but Coahulla Creek ended up getting it back. And really that was just an opportunity. There was Cruz Barcenas. He was trying to get his teammate possibly a chance. Diego Frary, who is wearing number 7. He's also a goalkeeper. He'll wear number 1, but he's not in at goalkeeper today. We actually have a goalkeeper who's wearing number 35, which I don't have on the roster. Back over to the midfielder, or the mid-defenseman, rather. That is Will Mason. Now here comes Bowers. Bowers turning up the field. Bowers slices it in the middle. Can they get it off a deflection? In space. Looking to cross. He's got open room. He's got it. And Coahulla Creek able to come up with possession. Good stop there by the midfielder for Coahulla Creek. And we are going to get a throw-in coming up for the Blue Devils. As you're watching the quarterfinals of the GHSA 2A Boys Soccer Playoffs, live here from Odis Spencer Stadium, as we just received the new football schedule. So we're excited about some of the games that we could possibly live stream on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We'll be back here at Odis Spencer Stadium for several of them. This place was lively. Yesterday, not only did they have the Columbus Morgan County, the soccer match, they also had a tennis match, as they do have tennis courts to the far right here at Odis Spencer. Quinstrano over to Mason. Let's see if Columbus tries to push. That was a very good header that just pushed it up the field. But here comes the Blue Devils looking to cross. It's with it. Oh, an opportunity that just came up short by that Coahulla Creek defense. There's Isaiah Virgil and Will Mason on that back line. Virgil over to Mason, near side, dribbles. Over to Bowers. Bowers trying to take his man. It'll go back to the keeper. Good play there by Coahulla Creek. He gets taken down. Slide tackle. Are we going to get a whistle? Yes, we are. That's going to be a free kick coming up for Coahulla Creek, as we have just passed the 30th minute of the match. Still scoreless, live from Odis Spencer Stadium. And taking this one will be Omar Mendiola. In the box, Columbus right there. Good defensive stop. Now let's see if Columbus can push it. Over to Bowers. Bowers with space. Playing off the chest. It's a foot race to the ball. Trying to stay with it. 33, that is Landon Lamar looking to cross, and it goes out of play. I know that Landon Lamar coming in as a sub. What's the call going to be here? Is this going to be a corner kick? The ref's going to talk it over. That is a corner kick. It's in the box. I just couldn't see it at that angle. A header, Coahulla Creek. Here come the Colts, racing it down, and that's going to be a whistle on Will Childs. So taking this free kick is going to be Jonathan Mendez. Actually, he is not going to take the free kick. It will be, once again, Omar Mendiola. This is definitely the striker that Coahulla Creek, they have the most confidence in, as that is still in play. Being challenged by Isaiah Virgil. Little tapper. Looking to cross. Collision. Taken down. And a whistle. Free kick coming up for Columbus. As you can hear the crowd here as they agree with that call. Will Mason going to take this free kick. Oh, there was just a challenge, and here's an opportunity. Shot on goal, right on target for Gabe Perez. That was Johan Reyes with the shot on goal. And quickly a throw in for Coahulla Creek. Columbus with some open space, and oh, what a play there. That's going to be keeper's ball. And that was Alex Ramirez, who looked like he came out of nowhere to stop that one and give Columbus a little momentum as we are approaching halftime. And looking at the clock and the clock that I have on the scoreboard, we might have maybe a minute of stoppage time. See, in high school soccer, sometimes if it is an injury timeout, they will stop the clock. Unlike at the professional level, and they do have the stoppage time. And a throw-in coming up for Coahulla Creek. Jonathan Mendez decides he is not going to take the throw-in, and he's going to let the defenseman and the sophomore, Avery Nava, take this throw-in. Coahulla Creek, 2A school. They were a 3A school last year. In fact, this was the rematch of the quarterfinal matchup when Columbus won it 2-0. Columbus would go on to win the 3A state championship, defeating Hebron Christian 2-1. Columbus, the number 4 seed. Coahulla Creek, the number 5 seed. Back over to Virgil. Over to Mason, near side. Mason. Virgil just, there's Ramirez. Over to Virgil. They're just taking their time with this. And what you don't want to do, you don't want to get too aggressive. Oh, what a slide tackle by Avery Nava. Bowers, good touch. Trying to control those touches, but that defense for Coahulla Creek so smothering in that middle of the field. There was nothing open for Columbus. That's how it's been this first part of the match. Columbus just needs to get some touches. They need to get some possessions in this area of the field. But they are being patient. Pushing it up. Slide tackle, and now here comes Coahulla Creek. But Columbus staying aggressive on defense. I'm going to try to get this turnover. Virgil, the header. And another header. It's Landon Lamar. And it's a good play there by Mendiola. Deflection. Lamar back over to Mason. And a left-footed strike. Columbus trying to get a hold of possession here as we are approaching the 38th minute. Got to keep an eye on the clock in the stadium. I think Columbus would be satisfied going to the locker room tied. You do not want to surrender a late goal in the first half, and so Columbus defense has been solid. As that goes out of play. It's Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel as we welcome our audience from Dalton, Georgia. This will be the first corner kick for Coahulla Creek. See if Coahulla Creek can get something on a set piece. It's in the box. Header, that's a keeper's ball. Very aggressive move by Gabe Perez. A lot of traffic in the box, and he was able to just reach up and grab it. Nice play by Bowers. I tell you, this Andrew Bowers, only a freshman. He has got a promising future. When it comes to high school soccer, when you talk to the high school soccer players around the area, they play on their club teams. We have Concord Fire South, got CYSC, but you also have Sousa and Auburn soccer. Some of them even play on Columbus United FC and Fountain City FC. And then the other in outdoor soccer, Columbus Elite FC. So we've got 3 outdoor soccer teams here in Columbus. 2 of them play in the UPSL. Columbus United FC plays in the USL 2. All Tier 4 soccer, semi-pro and amateur soccer leagues. Can Columbus get the breaks that they need to try to strike first here in this match as Perez scoops that one up? As we have stoppage time here. Throw in coming up for Coahulla Creek. A slide tackle. And that is going to do it for the half. So we are scoreless between Columbus and Coahulla Creek. We will step aside, and we'll be back after this. We'll have the second half for you right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, we are at the half. Scoreless here between Coahulla Creek and Columbus in the GHSA 2A Boys Soccer Quarterfinals here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Thank everybody watching us. Make sure that you like and subscribe to the Facebook and YouTube channel. Okay, let's get ready to start the second half here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Yeah, Coahulla Creek is out and ready to start the second half. So is Columbus. The winner will take on the winner of Shaw and Jackson, which will be coming up after this match. Columbus is going to kick off. And we are underway. Little touch. Off the knee. Oh, what a pass. Coahulla Creek is just right there. And good defense by Columbus. In the middle of the field, and Coahulla Creek is just right there to smother it up. Got some space for Columbus, middle of the field. That pass was intended for Bowers. Also number 33, Landon Lamar. Good steal there by Bowers. And then you got Will Childs. Clover's trying to spread it out. Who will get the first goal here in the quarterfinals? The chance to go to the semifinals could be hosted here, depending on what's going to happen in this match. And you can hear the fans from Coahulla Creek just chattering down below. He's trying to get open in space. These two teams are very identical. You have one as a 4 seed in Columbus, and then Coahulla Creek is a 5 seed. And both teams actually dominated their first 2 rounds. There's a foot race. Colts looking across. Good defensive play by Grant Walken. That will be I think it might have been out on Walken. It might be a corner kick for Coahulla Creek. Yeah, taking this corner kick is going to be Cruz Barcenas. Take it right there by the flag. Sails into the box. And a header. Coahulla Creek trying to keep it back. There's a header moving forward. Middle of the field. Columbus has got to find a way to get it out of there. Back out over to Ramirez. Pushing it up. There's just nobody there. Columbus just does not have the numbers. We might have got a foul on Columbus. We'll get a sub coming in. And taking this free kick is going to be Will Mason. And a throw-in coming up for Coahulla Creek. Good job by Columbus getting that one back. Here comes Columbus on the attack. Trying to race. Oh, what a move. He put him on skates. But Coahulla Creek ends up getting the possession back. Coahulla Creek is a good space. Good spacing over there. Diego Frary, one of the top goal scorers for the Colts. In the center of the field, and nothing there. Columbus all over that one. Let's see if Coahulla Creek trying to press. Drops it back to the midfielder. She found the open lane. A shot attempt, and that's going to be a save by Perez. Another shot on goal for Coahulla Creek. They had a couple early on in the first half. And that is controlled and played over there by Virgil. And that's going to be a foul on Columbus. Slow getting up is Cruz Barcenas. have a free kick coming up for Coahulla Creek. That shot right at Perez. That shot was on target. It was like a rocket coming in there. Now see if Columbus can respond. That's going to go out of bounds, and throw-in coming up for the Blue Devils. Landon Lamar going to take this throw-in. Actually, Lamar is going to check out of the game. Taking this throw-in is going to be Christian Buenstrano. Columbus and Coahulla Creek. We are scoreless here in the quarterfinals of the GHSA 2A boys soccer playoffs. Live from Odis Spencer Stadium. I want to thank Muskogee County Athletic Director Jeff Battles for allowing us to live stream this game. Also, Columbus AD Coach Chad Mathis, Marvin James from the GHSA, and the Columbus High Booster Club. Thank you for allowing us to live stream this broadcast. We thank you for your support. We were able to live stream the Columbus girls yesterday. However, they fell short to Morgan County. That header out of play. That's going to be a throw-in. Or no, that's going to be a corner kick. That looked like that was off of Columbus. But it looks like everybody is moving the opposite way, so that will be a goal kick for Coahulla Creek. Glad to be back here at Odis Spencer Stadium for soccer playoffs. It's the second night in a row we've had a quarterfinal matchup. Semifinals will be this Friday, and the winner of this match will take on the winner of Shaw and Jackson. That is coming up after this. We will not be broadcasting that. We will end the live stream. But we are cheering on for the Shaw Raiders. Had Coach Curtis on the pregame show earlier today. Him and his Shaw team is in the stands waiting to play their next match. They're going to end up getting a late start tonight. Throw in. There's Landon. Kicks over that back line. Virgil all the way across the field over to Grant Walkin, and he gets it stolen. And here comes the Colts. Staying with it. Looking across. That's in the box and right at Perez. It's been low-angle shots. Nothing really there for Coahulla Creek. But Perez has been solid as the keeper. And that's going to be a turnover on this side of the field for Columbus. Oh, what a soccer move. Shot. Upper 90 off the mark. And did Columbus deflect it? I don't see anybody moving. That might be a corner kick coming up for Coahulla Creek. Columbus is going to have to defend this. Perez might have punched it out, and that's why it's going to be a corner kick. Taking the corner kick is going to be Cruz Barcenas. It's in the box. Header. Can Columbus get it out of the zone? You got nothing but blue jerseys, and they able to, it's going to be a foot race. Here we go. It's one-on-one with the keeper. Shot. And it's off the mark. That was Will Childs one-on-one with a keeper. The goalie came out of the box, but it will be a corner coming up for Columbus. Christian Buenstrano is going to do the honors and kick this corner. Probably the biggest opportunity in the match for Columbus. Buenstrano. Corner sails. Header by Coahulla Creek. Still Columbus with possession. Over to that back line. Getting a couple of touches on the ball. What you don't want to do is give up possession and let Coahulla Creek get it on some momentum going the other way. But Columbus's defense is right there to put that one away. And then now we got open space. There's a pass in the middle of the field. Took kind of a funny backspin. And now you got Landon, good defense. And now it's back over to Columbus. Can Landon put a move on his defender once again? And that's Cruz Barcenas, who's had a solid match so far for Coahulla Creek. But yet to get a goal by any team. Landon, good move. There's actually Alex Ramirez as well on that. And now they got space. Christian Bussey with some open space. Bussey staying with it. Looking to cross. Still in the danger territory. You can take a shot if you want it. Then we got a whistle. And it looks like that's going to be a penalty on Coahulla Creek. It's going to be a free kick, and that is close to the goalie's box. Lining up to take this free kick is going to be Christian Buenstrano. And if you're Coahulla Creek, you have really got to be careful. You see the Coahulla Creek defenders getting ready to build that mini wall. What do you do here in this situation if you're Columbus? Do you aim for the goal or try to pass it off? Buenstrano, ready, set, oh, off the mark. And that's going to be a goal kick. 55th minute of the match. Still scoreless. At this point of the match, whoever gets that first goal is going to have all the momentum in the world. You know, teams play different when they're behind. But both defenses have been playing solid in this match. I tell you what, I'm very impressed. Charles Frimpong, he has got some speed. Good midfielder for Coach Casper. Slide tackle. Pretty impressive slide tackle. And that's the thing, it's a clean slide tackle. And pass, and the keeper is out of the box. And that's going to be a foul. And Coahulla Creek is going to take this penalty kick. Cruz Barcenas. They called that foul on Columbus. And that's off the post. Barcena's shot, he's up beside himself. He hit the post. And that has fired up the Columbus crowd. Cruz Barcenas on a penalty kick hits the post. And we are still tied here in this soccer match between Coahulla Creek and Columbus. Winner will move on to the semifinals. If Columbus wins, they are hosting the semifinals. That will be this Friday back at Odis Spencer Stadium. Shaw is hoping to join them if they can advance past Jackson. We've been talking about it on the Georgia Alabama Sports Live Show and on Sports Visions. There's a possible chance that we could have a Columbus-Shaw semifinal here at Odis Spencer on Friday. But first things first, Columbus has got to get past Coahulla Creek. A very talented soccer team who was also in 3A last year. And this is also a rematch of the quarterfinal match last year when Columbus defeated Coahulla Creek. Throw in coming up for Anderson Rivera. Rivera just trying to put a move on his defender. And Columbus get it out, and they do. They're going to kick it out to that back line for Coahulla Creek. Can Columbus get the possession, get the necessary touches to try to come up with an offensive scheme to strike first in this match? Columbus's best opportunity was one-on-one with the keeper. That was Will Childs. And Coahulla Creek able to take advantage of that backspin. Oh, good defense, racing to it. And now you got Columbus with some open space. In the middle of the field, header. Right there, Coahulla Creek. They weren't giving up anything. Oh, deflection. Perez comes out of the box. He's just wasting no time. He's going to kick that one. You just got to, you can be aggressive here. You just got to make sure not to foul. But Columbus knows this late in the match, that first goal could be the momentum that team needs to win this game. I mean, sometimes teams just play a little loose, a little different, depending on the minute that the goal is scored. But here in a scoreless match, I've seen that both teams really haven't gotten much momentum. We do have an injured player for Coahulla Creek, so we will step aside here as you're watching the GHSA 2A quarterfinal matchup between Columbus and Coahulla Creek. We're back after this on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. Columbus with the ball. And Columbus, open space. Looking across. Good job there by Coahulla Creek. That middle of the field. They really have nothing there in the middle of the field for Columbus. Isaiah Virgil, mid defender. Grant Walken as well. Will Mason is that back line for Columbus. Columbus takes it. This has just been a battle between two talented teams. None of the teams are budging here. Throw in coming up for the Colts. Back out. Keeper. And header. And another header. Columbus would love to keep possession here. Got another foul. That'll be a free kick going the other way for the Blue Devils. Will Mason going to take this free kick. Strike in the middle of the field. Coahulla Creek. Trying to keep possession. And stolen. Good move over to Bussey. Now looking across. Middle of the field. Got to get it out. Coahulla Creek was able to escape dodge. Oh, look at him taking on his man one-on-one for Columbus defense. Smothering in the middle of the field. Christian Bussey, deflection, and out of play. Also Titus Robbins. Grant Walken is going to throw this one in. As you see the Shaw soccer team, as they've been watching this one, as they're going to go ahead and get ready for the match. They'll probably go down to the field and get their warm-ups in. They're going to play Jackson next. Coahulla Creek, golden opportunity here. Good defense by Columbus. '65th minute of the match. Still scoreless in this quarterfinal match. Winner advances to the semifinals, which will be this Friday. Eric Torres taking this throw in. Nice touch. Over to Barcenas. Barcenas and deflected by Andrew Bowers. Correction, that was Tristan Lemons. And that's going to be That's going to be a throw-in. Almost a corner. That's a throw-in right where you normally would take a throw-in, or normally take a corner. Looks like that was an illegal throw-in, and Columbus will get it. Grant Watkin. It was misplayed by Will Mason, and that's going to be a corner kick coming up for Coahulla Creek. Anderson Rivera will take this corner over on that far side. Coahulla Creek opportunity deflected. Perez with a save. How many times has the goalkeeper, Gabe Perez, come up big for Columbus? Perez will kick it off. Pretty decent crowd here at Odis Spencer Stadium, like it was yesterday. Well, the Columbus Cleanstones are in action right now, taking on the Birmingham Barons. We'll try to get a score update. You can listen to Jack Johnson on Sports Vision's 92.1. That is the official flagship station for the Columbus Cleanstones. You can also catch Griff Behringer and DJ Jones Mondays through Fridays from 6 to 9 on Sports Vision's 92.1 FM. I'll tell you, Coahulla Creek's defense, they just been right place, right time. That's going to be a foot race to the ball. And Columbus is able to track it down. And you don't want to have a turnover in your area, and that's going to be right at Perez. It's the low angle shot. Oh, what a move. But nobody's there. We've seen Columbus strikers take their man one-on-one and turn up the field. Just don't have anybody in the middle of the field to pass it to. There's a shot, and a little deflected by Perez, and they're gonna take it up the field. Here comes Bussey. Bussey with some space, trying to take his man one-on-one. And deflected. That was a good slide tackle there by Johan Reyes. Now Bussey with it. Oh, little bump from the two players and just incidental contact, and that'll be a goal kick for Coahulla Creek. Approaching the 70th minute of the match. If we do not have a winner after regulation, we will have 2 10-minute overtime periods. It's not sudden death. And if we don't have a winner then we'll go to penalty kicks. And we've had several penalty kicks. Games ended penalty kicks before here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live, including Shaw Jordan, Brookstone Pacelli, also ended in penalty kicks. Here comes Coahulla Creek. Got some space. Pushing it up. Here, Columbus, you don't want to give Coahulla Creek any open space. And Perez has had his work cut out today. This Columbus defense has been solid. Coahulla looking to cross. Still in play. No, that's going to be a goal kick. Perez is going to take this one. This soccer match brought to you by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Gordy Eye Care, Kinetic Credit Union, and Buffalo Rock. That's a good move, but just good defense by Coahulla Creek. Both teams had their scoring opportunities. Coahulla Creek early on had several shots on goal that weren't on target, but they were still shot attempts at the goal. Columbus had that one-on-one with the keeper. That was Will Childs. Here's some applause. That'll be a throw-in. That was a nice defensive play. Be a throw-in coming up for Coahulla Creek. We want to thank the sponsors for the Columbus Booster Club, Aflac, Columbus Children's Dentistry, Uptown Chili Thai, Fit Body Boot Camp, Hideaway Lounge, Handelman, Nestle Golf. And we'll get to the other sponsors after this action. 50-50 ball. Jack Horse Reynolds, also Kia Auto Sport, Nail Service Day Spa, Nexus Pain Center, Faux Saigon, Posh Spa and Lounge, Pro Nails, Rob Hendricks, Attorney, Stars and Strikes, V-Ted Theus, Attorney, Tips and Toes, Elite Family Medicine, Vi Spa and Nails. Now that's going to be, wondering why there's no call there. You can hear the fans. And also Wild Wing Cafe. Thank you to the sponsors. The sponsor, the Columbus High Booster Club. And the fans from Coahulla Creek who made the trip from Dalton. They're getting excited. This is a match that definitely has been a grind for both teams, just trying to put one on the board. Well, time is winding down here in the second half. Taking this free kick is going to be Fabricio Pacheco. Open space, shot, off the mark. Perez will take this goal kick. Over to Andrew Bowers, who is the freshman. Has some valuable playing time as a starter. No whistle. Refs are just letting them play on. Bowers tries to track it down, and that'll be a throw-in for Coahulla Creek. Eric Torres will throw this one in. Back over to Torres. Little tapper. Back over to the defender. Good defense by Columbus. And pushing it up, and nobody's there. Well, Coahulla Creek has had their opportunities to get some touches in Columbus's own territory. But Columbus's defense has been solid. I know both teams do not want to get this. You got probably about a couple more minutes of stoppage time that will be put on the clock. You can hear some fans out there just trying to see a little strategy. We need speed up front, and that's sometimes you just got to let the coach make that call. All right, free kick coming up. Omar Mendelia. And Coahulla Creek. Opportunity, and Perez. And he hears that from the crowd. Bowers. And that's going to be taken by Bowers. Bowers trying to turn up the field. He's going to go ahead and take this throw in. He's going to just throw it back to that back line. Does Columbus have an opportunity here to try to get the first goal of the game, which this late in the game could put away the match? Coahulla Creek, as they've been this entire match, solid on defense. Nice move by Bowers. Bowers turned it up the field, still with it. Bowers looking across, and that is off target. Was that deflected? No, that is going to be a goal kick. Good play there, and we've got 3 minutes of stoppage time has been added. Coahulla Creek looking to cross. Nice move, Tristan Lemons. That is Alex Ramirez, and here comes the Blue Devils. Bussey trying to stay with it. Bussey, opportunity, deflected. Will that be a corner for Columbus? It looked like it was deflected. What are they going to call on the field? It looks like it's going to be a goal kick. Christian Bussey had the angle. He went for the shot. Here comes Columbus with space. And nothing there. Close to the minute mark as we see about a minute 20 left on the stadium clock. Not quite 3 minutes of stoppage time. About 2.5 minutes. Back out to Perez, the keeper. That's a good job there by Coahulla Creek. Less than a minute to go. And they will play 2 10-minute extra periods. If they cannot get a winner after 100 minutes, it goes to penalties. We've had quite our share of games that ended in penalty kicks, including one. It seemed like it just dragged on throughout the night. It went to sudden death penalties. But when you have two evenly matched teams, this is what you get. And we are going to the first extra period. You cannot come up with a winner after 80 minutes. We'll tack on 10 more for that first period. We'll step aside. It's all tied. We're going to the extra period. We'll play an extra another 90. Another 10. They'll get to 90. Back after this on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. So that the booster club presence and booster club is alongside. I will ask for it. Sure, let's go. Coke Zero. That's fine. Cool. Welcome back here to Odis Spencer Stadium. We could not decide a winner after 80 minutes, so we will play an extra period. And remember, it is not sudden death. If they cannot come up with a goal after the first period, we'll turn around and play an extra 10-minute period. And if they cannot come up with a winner after 100 minutes, it will go to penalties. What a fantastic way to finish a playoff soccer game, to end on penalty kicks. I want to remind everybody that this broadcast is brought to you by Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC, Gordy Eye Care, Kinetic Credit Union, and Buffalo Rock. We also appreciate the Columbus High Booster Club sponsors, including Aflac, Columbus Children's Dentistry, Uptown Chili Thai, Fit Body Boot Camp, Hideaway Lounge, Handelman Nestdale and Golf, Jack Harsh Rentals, Kia Autosport, Nail Service Day Spa, Nexus Pain Center, Faux Saigon, Bosch Spa Lounge, Pro Nails, Rob Hendricks Attorney, Stars and Strikes, V-Ted Theus Attorney, Tips and Toes, Elite Family Medicine, Vi Spa Nails, and Wild Wing Cafe. Let's get ready to play some extra soccer, folks. Right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. And it seems like the last two boys soccer matches I've called on Georgia Alabama Sports Live has ended in penalty kicks. Could we get a third? And we are underway with the extra period. They've turned the lights on here at Odis Spencer Stadium. And Shaw waiting patiently. Because I know they're going to be playing right after this match with a late start as well. Columbus is moving from left to right. A good move there by Coahulla Creek. That was Cruz Barcenas, one of the top goal scorers for the Colts. Pushing it up the field. We got space here for Columbus. Middle of the field, nothing's there. Sometimes you just got to get some pressure. Columbus doesn't want to press too much. You don't want to give up a goal. It's not sudden death. If you do give up a goal, I mean, it changes your strategy a little bit, but you could still try to get the equalizer. Oh, slide tackle. That was a good slide tackle there by Grant Walken, playing on that right side. Looks like we got a player down for Coahulla Creek. Coahulla Creek, a 3A school, or last year. They're a 2A school this year out of Dalton, Georgia. That's not quite in the northern part of Georgia. Ringgold is probably the northernest part, maybe Fort Oglethorpe. But Dalton's right there. That's a big city. You're going up 75 north. You got Calhoun. You got the Tanger Outlet malls, and then you got Dalton. Columbus with possession. Pushing it. Here's an opportunity for the Blue Devils. They got to stay with it. Got to keep possession. Oh, that Coahulla Creek defense has just been swarming. Looking to cross. And they get possession. Andrew Bowers was trying to get to it. Bowers is one of those players to watch out for. He is a striker on that outside. He likes to take it and turn it up the field. Isaiah Virgil patrolling that defensive back line. I know fatigue has got to be a factor, especially for both these teams. Oh, good move, and Columbus not able to get that possession. And that's going to be a foul on Buenastrano, and that might be a yellow card. Yellow card's coming out. You can see the yellow card. That's the second yellow card of the match. Not for the same player, though. But if your players get too many yellow cards, that means you can't be as aggressive. Sometimes you have a little restraint. Omar Mendolina will take this free kick for Coahulla Creek. Columbus is in their defensive stance. Sails in the box. Still in play. Header. Trying to turn. And it's kicked out of there. Great defensive effort by Isaac. And that Columbus defense wasn't having it. Out of play and a throw-in coming up for Coahulla Creek. Number 7, Diego Frary, one of the top goal scorers on the team. We'll throw this one in. Oh, they're just tussling over there on that far side. Coahulla Creek looking to cross, and Columbus's defense right there. There's not a whole lot of space. Deflected. Staying with it. That shot is off the post. And a deflection. That's the second shot today by Coahulla Creek that's off the post. Coahulla Creek feels like they should be up at least 2-0. But that one definitely looked like it was going in. As this is the first 10-minute extra period. It is not sudden death. If we don't have a goal scored by either team, we'll turn around and play another 10-minute period. Oh, I like that bicycle kick. You can see Sean Jackson over in that corner, warming up, getting ready. Throw in by the Colts. Columbus had the one opportunity in this match. It was one-on-one with the keeper, Will Childs. And here comes Coahulla Creek with an opportunity and a save by Perez. It will be a corner coming up for the Colts. How many times has Gabe Perez coming up big? Interchanneling his Tim Howard or Matt Turner, whatever goalkeeper from the United States national team that you are a fan of. Remember, the World Cup's coming to Atlanta in 2026, so get ready, folks. Well, the entire United States, but just the fact that it's coming to Atlanta is awesome. Out of bounds. Is that going to be another corner for Coahulla Creek? Yes, it is. Taking this corner is Cruz Barcenas. I mean, the way these two teams, they dominated the first and second round, it is fitting that they're facing off against each other here in the quarterfinals. Columbus, the 4 seed. Coahulla Creek, the 5 seed. Barcenas kicks it in the box. Header right to Perez. And Perez is just going to kick that one out of bounds. There was just no Columbus players even close. And a throw-in coming up for Coahulla Creek. About to approach the 90th minute, which means, I think, according to the clock, they'll put about a minute of stoppage time here in this extra period. And we're definitely not calling it an overtime period. It's an extra period. Trying to get the soccer terminology down. He's chasing it is Johan Reyes. Trying to get it in the middle of the field in Columbus with that defense. Will Mason. Oh, that would have been a golden opportunity for Bowers. But here comes Coahulla Creek on the counter attack. Barcenas trying to get space. Shot attempt, and Perez eats it up. We do have a player down. Might put another minute of stoppage time. As we have entered the 90th minute here in the first overtime period. Probably going to have 3 minutes of stoppage time. As Landon Lamar hears it from the crowd, he was slow getting up. So we'll get a sub coming in for Coach Casper's bunch. Live here from Odis Spencer Stadium. We thank you for watching us on Georgia Alabama Sports Live's Facebook page and YouTube channel. Perez is going to go ahead and punt this one away. And Columbus race to it. Opportunity here for Columbus. I think that was misplayed by the defender for Coahulla Creek. If Columbus could get this possession, maybe they could draw up a play. That just took a bad deflection, and now here comes Coahulla Creek going the other way. Misplayed, center of the field, header, and a whistle. Who's that on? Christian Buenstrano, and that's actually not on him, and that'll be some contact from Coahulla Creek. And that will do it for the first extra period. We got one more extra period. So we'll play another 10 minutes. So we'll get to 100 minutes. And if we do not have a winner after 100 minutes, we will go to penalties. We'll be back after this here on the 2A GHSA boys quarterfinal matchup between Columbus and Coahulla Creek right here on Georgia Alabama Sports Live. We are back. We have played 90 minutes. We've got 10 more to go, and it is not sudden death. And if we cannot get a goal after 100 minutes, we will go to penalty kicks. Here we go. By the way, a big shout out to Gage Joyner, one of the owners, Fountain City FC. He just told me that Gabe Perez actually plays for Fountain City FC. Don't forget that Georgia Alabama Sports Live is your official broadcasting partner for Fountain City FC as they have a soccer match this Saturday. Free kick coming up for Columbus. Over to Virgil. Back out to Watkins. Bussey. And lost it. Here comes Coahulla Creek. That defense has got to get back. Still in play. Looking to cross. And Virgil ends up kicking that one out. Trying to go for the header. And just a collision by Bussey and Diego Freyer. The refs are going to settle the players down. That's going to be a free kick. Coahulla Creek has had many opportunities, free kicks, but the biggest play was on a penalty kick hitting the post. And that one is off the mark and a goal kick coming up. So Coahulla Creek has hit the post 3 times in this game. That has got to be demoralizing. Could be worse. Could be Chet Holmgren missing 2 free throws yesterday in that OKC Denver game. Here comes Columbus. That back line. Good job keeping it in play. Turning the corner. Trying to take his defender one-on-one. Looking to cross. And it goes out of play. We are in the second free period here of the match. A defensive effort by both teams. As neither one of these goalies have yielded a goal. And they've had their opportunities. Columbus had one-on-one with a keeper. Coahulla Creek, 3 shots, including a penalty kick that hit off the post. Columbus is now going from right to left. And a good play there by Roberto Diaz. Middle of the field. Good job by Columbus tracking it down, but they got to do something with this. Virgil back over to Watkins. Virgil, good touch on the ball. And that's going to be a turnover. Coahulla Creek trying to get the space they need to try to put up the first goal of the game. But Columbus, that defense is right there. It's not just the defense of Columbus, it's the goalkeeping of Perez. He has been outstanding at the keeper position. Free kick coming up for Coahulla Creek. Shaw and Jackson patiently waiting. They are going to end up having a late start. Coahulla Creek with space. Turns up the field. Columbus just trying to be steady, looking to cross. Coahulla Creek, not a whole lot of space, and there's the goal! That is a goal scored by Cruz Barcedas. An incredible play to get the go-ahead goal here in the second free period. It is pandemonium from their players. They feel that might have just been the goal to put this game away, but Columbus still has 5 minutes to try to get something. Columbus is going to kick it off. Now this changes the strategy if you're Columbus. It really looked like we were headed to penalty kicks. Just the way both teams played, and you got to give credit to Coahulla Creek for just having a fantastic goal. Now Columbus has got to do something with it. Got some space. Middle of the field. And taken away by Coahulla Creek. Comes back. Bowers. Keeper's ball as he dives onto the turf. Back out over to Virgil. Watkin. Right back to the keeper. And they're going to call a foul. That was Will Childs. A little too aggressive on that play. The keeper is down. Let's hope he's all right. We're going to get a little bit of stoppage time here in the second period. Trying to see how much time they're going to put on the clock. That's a red card. That is a red card issued, and Columbus is going to play with a man down. Definitely not the time that you want to get a red card. The ref has made the call. So Will Childs has been removed from this game. And Columbus is going to play a man down. Coahulla Creek with it, looking to cross. Another opportunity. Columbus's defense has got to stay strong. That is wide of the goal. We probably have about 2 minutes of stoppage time that will be added. That will be a corner kick coming up for Coahulla Creek. So Columbus at a huge disadvantage, playing a man down 1 goal. Corner in the box. Racing to it. Coahulla Creek staying with it. Looking across and stolen by Columbus. So we got 2 minutes of stoppage time here in this match. Free kick coming up, and it's going to be taken by Cruz Barcenas, who has the only goal of the match. It came in the second extra period in the 95th minute. Incredible goal to put Coahulla Creek on top, and that might have put a bow on this as far as getting to the semifinals. It's an absolute tough week for Columbus Athletics. But they have fought hard, and still plenty of time, and Columbus can try to get a goal here with a minute to go. We've got about 1:19 left on the clock. All they need is just one goal to get it to penalty kicks. Bowers. Trying to stay with it. Coahulla Creek just wants to play the time of possession game. They want to just keep it away from Columbus as much as possible. Columbus playing a man down after the red card. Got another whistle. That'll be a free kick for Coahulla Creek. Looking across. Being guarded by Bussey. Taken down, and that looks like that's going to be, do they call a red card or no, a yellow card? Hard to tell. That's actually be a corner kick. That was actually no foul. Corner kick in the box, deflected. Perez tried to get it, but that will do it. Coahulla Creek advances to the semifinals, where they will take on the winner of the next game coming up between Shaw and Jackson. As a hard-fought battle, Coahulla Creek ends up winning it in the 95th minute. As the lone goal was Cruz Barcenas. It was on a beautiful set piece. And the Columbus Blue Devil season is over, but what a fantastic season. The defending 3A state champions will have to regroup and get ready for next season, as they will now have an opportunity to repeat as champions. Once again, Coahulla Creek 1, Columbus 0. We played 100 minutes of soccer and stoppage time to decide the winner here. And we're going to go ahead and sign off on the broadcast, but we do have one more Columbus team that is in action. So if you want to stick around and watch Shaw take on Jackson, we're going to end the broadcast here. But Shaw is taking on Jackson at Odis Spencer Stadium, and we wish them the best of luck. Well, this is Richard Holdridge saying so long from Odis Spencer Stadium. Once again, Coahulla Creek defeats Columbus 1-0 to advance to the semifinals, where they will wait the winner of Jackson and Shaw. Have a great rest of your night, everybody.